said. Well, we are down to only hours until the polls open on both sides of the state line. Missourians can start voting at 6 a.m. Start times change county by county for Kansans, so check with your election office for specifics. And in the race for the White House, President Trump and former VP Joe Biden are completing their final pushes for votes today. And as is expected, the two candidates have very different strategies. Jared Hill's in our Washington bureau this morning to show us what that looks like.
The two campaigns are tackling this last day in very different ways. You have the president fanning out across the country, while former Vice President Joe Biden has a more laser-focused approach. It's not the election day preps we're used to, but businesses across the country are boarding up and bracing for the results as the candidates crisscrossing the country work for a clean win.
There's too much on the line to sit it out.
We are going to win the state of Michigan again.
After a Sunday stop in the battleground, now trending for Biden, President Trump is doubling back today. Michigan, the site of 2 out of 5 rallies he's planned, also in North Carolina, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania is critical in this election.
The Keystone State is shaping up to be key for either campaign, but former Vice President Biden is going all in. One stop in Ohio, then Biden, his running mate, and their spouses are spending the rest of the day in Pennsylvania. It's a state President Trump narrowly won in 2016, but where polls have Biden leading now. But can they be trusted? Experts say, look at the average.
This race has been characterized by a great deal of stability.
Political scientists also point to improvements in state polling, accounting for traditionally less likely voting groups as signs of better reliability.
They're being careful not to assume that college-educated voters are as large a share necessarily as they think.
All of this as more than 90 million ballots have been cast, and there's still time for more. And today, a federal judge in Texas is set to decide whether nearly 120,000 ballots can be accepted, all of them taken at a drive-through location. Yesterday, the state's Supreme Court rejected a petition from a GOP activist group to toss them out. Reporting in Washington, I'm Jared Hill.
And as you likely know, the presidential candidates are looking to get to the magic number of 270 electors to win the White House. And today is the last day for in-person absentee voting in Missouri. KMBC9's Martin Augustine live this morning at the Clay County Election Board. Now, Martin, unlike Kansas, there is no advanced voting in Missouri.
No, not as they have it set up in Kansas, but in Missouri you have something called absentee in-person, and for a number of reasons you could come to your local election board like these folks have done here. They're lining up at the Clay County Board of Elections here in Liberty to vote in person here today as opposed to voting in person at their polling place tomorrow. Now, among those reasons, if you're not going to be in your voting jurisdiction on Election Day, or if you're at risk for contracting COVID-19, meaning you're 65 or older or have a number of health issues, then you can do the absentee in-person thing, or if you have a religious practice that would prevent you from voting on Election Day. Another reason could be if you work for an election authority that's not going to be at your polling place. As far as absentee ballots and mail-in ballots go in Missouri, an absentee ballot needs to be brought in person back to your county election board. But if you have a mail-in ballot, that has to show up at the election board offices through the mail. You can't just drop that off. Again, it has to come through the mail, and it has to be delivered to the election board by the time the polls close tomorrow, and that's 7 o'clock in the evening. The Missouri Secretary of State's office says as of late last week, there were some 794,000 requests for mail-in ballots, and 723,000 have already been returned. As far as advanced voting, absentee in-person voting here today at Clay County, that goes from 8 in the morning. Again, you see the line back here until 5 o'clock this afternoon. On my Twitter feed, I have links to most of the election offices on the Missouri side of the state line. You can check out what the absentee in-person voting hours are in your jurisdiction. Plus, those websites are full of all sorts of information if you have questions about voting tomorrow. Reporting live, Martin Augustine, KMBC9 News.
All right, Martin, thank you so much. 7:06, and a group of Kansas Cityans will be in Arrowhead tomorrow to cast their vote. Remember, this is only for voters who live in the Jackson County part of Kansas City, Missouri. Voting will take place on the Community America Club level of the stadium. Masks will be required. Everyone who votes will get a special Chiefs-branded I Voted sticker. The polling locations paid for by donations from the Chiefs and quarterback Patrick Mahomes, 15 in the Mahomes Foundation. And one of the biggest decisions Missouri voters will make is who will be governor. Democrat State Auditor Nicole Galloway is working to take over for incumbent Governor Mike Parson. For his final day on the campaign trail, Parson will be flying around the state, making several stops, including some time in St. Joseph. Galloway will stay close to her campaign tonight at a rally with the Missouri Democratic Party here in Kansas City. Right now, polling company 538 has the race as a close one, with Parson winning. Coming to Kansas now, voters are already turning out in record-setting numbers for tomorrow's election. It's a trend we're seeing across the country. KBC9's Matt Evans is live this morning to show us where the state stands in the final hours of early in-person voting. Hey, Matt, good morning.
Good morning, Rob. More than 700,000 Kansans have already cast an advance ballot ahead of tomorrow's Election Day, which is more than double the amount of Kansans that voted early in 2016. And there are still several more hours in which you can cast an advance ballot in the state of Kansas. Statewide advance voting will end at noon today. Here locally at the Johnson County Election Board in Olathe, the Wyandotte County Election Board in KCK, they are open from 8 a.m. to noon for advance voting. Most election offices across the state are as well, but those hours can vary by county, so it's important to check with your local office. With the amount of people that have already voted and are expected to advance vote today, it is fueling predictions of record-breaking voter turnout across the state of Kansas. An important note about those mail-in ballots in Kansas: if you've received one, well, you can do several things with that. By state law, if you put it in the mail, it's postmarked by Tuesday and arrives at your local election office by Friday, it will be counted. However, election authorities across the state are saying don't take the chance. Instead, bring that ballot yourself if you can to a drop box to your local election office or to a polling place before 7 o'clock on Election Day to make sure it's counted. Live in Olathe this morning, Matt Evans, KBC 9 News.
Matt, thanks so much. The big question for all Kansas voters is the choice between two doctors to represent them in the U.S. Senate. Republican Roger Marshall is taking on Barbara Boyer. The race is drawing a lot of attention from across the country because of the impact it could have on the balance of power in the Senate. Pollster 538 has Marshall winning this one at 77% to Boyer's 23%. By the way, if you have questions before you head over to the polls tomorrow, we have got you covered. Tonight, you can watch our Commitment 2020 local election guide. We'll outline the big races and the issues at 6:30 and 10:35 right after KBC9 News at 6 and 10.